Joined by Purdue head coach Matt Painter and Purdue student athletes Caleb Swanigan and Vincent Edwards. Coach will ask you to please make an opening statement, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Well, I felt that really the difference in the game came to that start of that second half. I thought we had a lot of energy. I thought Vince got us off to a good start. And then our ability not to turn the ball over and give ourselves a chance in the second half. We had just a couple turnovers in the second half. We're able to maintain our rebound edge. And I really thought that was the difference in the game. Our guys, answered every one of their runs by either going inside, knocking down threes. And they were a good team. They're one of the best teams we faced all year. Very, very balanced, can do a lot of different things. And just a really good basketball team. This was a huge win for us.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes, please.
Stacey Clarity with Golden Black. Caleb, you've played with the toughness always. It seemed like you were especially fierce on the boards and kind of blocking shots today. I mean, did something get into you?
No, I didn't have any fouls, and it's the end of the game, so you just go block. I just went and blocked the shots when I saw the opportunity.
Vince, how's this feeling different than the past couple years?
I mean, we won. That's the difference right there. To go out 2 years, this being my third year, going out 2 years, it's terrible. So to get this and get that monkey off your back, it feels great.
What was different for you in the second half? Coach Painter alluded to it, 8 points to start it off, and then went on to lead the team in scoring.
Honestly, I was just trying to get myself together, just trying to calm myself down. I was frustrated myself, just being a really hard critic on myself. So just coming out in that second half, I was just telling myself just to calm down and play. And my teammates did a good job of finding me and getting me open shots.
George Lansley, the Purdue exponent. Vince, this team does really well when you're aggressive. Is that something you set out to do from the onset of this game?
I mean, that's just something that I have to take when it's there. Coach Payne always preaches and harp on being patiently aggressive when you got it go. So, that's definitely something that I keep in mind, keep in consideration, just try not to force anything and just take what the defense gives me.
Vince, Bob Kravitz with WTHR in Indianapolis. How personally did you take it, especially a couple of years ago, that Cincinnati game?
I mean, both of those games just replayed in my head, all year. Even though we had seasons to play, I still, can replay almost every last 3 to 4 possessions in each of those games. So to come out here, I just really want to win, and I can tell the guys in the locker room that I'm surrounded with, and our coaches included, want to win. So we were able to pull it out.
Caleb, just that second half for you guys, what do you think worked well?
Just really anything we were running, we just had to execute it, and then if we ran it right, it usually worked.
Vince, Andrew Wagner, Reuters and Sports Exchange, you talked about the pain of those last 2 years. When you've gone through those experiences, does the mental focus become a little bit sharper down the stretch? Granted, you guys had a bit of a cushion, but Vermont was making a game, so does the mental toughness and sharpness get a little more clear as you go down the stretch, making sure there aren't little let-ups or little mistakes to let someone back in the game?
I mean, yeah, when you've been through this, as many times as we have, and especially, our junior class and some of the guys who are in Biggie's class with Klein, it sharpens you, and the coaches say it, then we just kind of tell ourselves, down the stretch that we've been here, so we know what to do. So we just got to be smart, execute, we'll be fine.
Caleb, you guys have talked about how you were going to be defined by this NCAA tournament and kind of how it went. How important is this one?
It's important, but after today, it's not important, and it's the next game. So that's just how we're going to approach it.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right, guys, thank you. Questions for Coach Painter, please.
And Matt says nothing to do with the game, but Tom Crean got fired today. Can I just get your thoughts on that?
I don't care what you think. It's difficult anytime, one of your colleagues or anybody in your league or just in coaching. It's a tough profession, and you feel for somebody. You work hard and to be successful, and you put your best foot forward, and you work, and you want to make things work, and you also want to finish the job. You want to keep going, and then when they part ways, it's a difficult thing, but it's part of coaching. And I think Hubie Brown's the one that said, you officially become a coach once you get fired for the first time. And you go into it knowing it's probably going to happen to you at least once, maybe 2 or 3 times. And but it's unfortunate.
Matt, you had a Vermont team that kept coming at you, and you've had guys that have had some heartbreaks here in the tournament. Were you able to see the growth and the maturity from your guys down the stretch? Every time Vermont got close, they seemed to have an answer for it. Is that a sign of growing up?
Yeah. Well, sometimes playing hard and making shots, and sometimes you play hard and you miss shots. And a lot of people say, they want to know what's wrong. And there's nothing wrong. There's a really good team out there, and this could have went. This could have went either way. Vermont's a really good basketball team, and they made some tough shots. They made some tough plays. Obviously, we made, a little bit more. I think we had a matchup on the interior, but Lamb was, he was giving us trouble, and they didn't make as many threes, and Steidel going out didn't help them. But Vermont's a really good basketball team. But our guys did show some maturity, down the stretch, and making plays and getting stops. And Swanigan made some huge blocks there. At the end, we came up with some loose balls. We still had a couple breakdowns. We fouled a 3-point shooter and had a bad switch, and that cost us some points.
Coach Brendan Brody from RushTheCourt.net. If you could, talk about Carson Edwards for a second. Just to have a freshman that's just that unflappable, that young, coming into an environment like this, and just, granted, kind of take the good with the bad with him, but just the mindset that he has was just that there's no fear there. And how does that rub off on his older teammates, and how important is he going into the rest of this tournament?
Yeah, I think it's great for us. It gives us somebody that can break people down off the dribble, can score in transition, can make a pull-up, can make a pull-up 3. He gives us a different look, and he gives us that speed and athleticism combined with that skill. That's a tough matchup. And so when you can bring a guy like him off the bench and the experience of Spike Albrecht to go along with the size of Isaac Haas, we feel like we got, a pretty good 8 right there. But no, it doesn't matter. It could have been an open gym game and he'd had the same numbers. The environment and things around him doesn't faze him. But the thing I like about it is, basketball is important, and he looks forward to games like this.
Michael Cohen from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. When the game started, there was obviously a feeling out period for both teams given the size discrepancy. How did you think that your guys adjusted to the way that they run their offense and the amount of motion that they have, because they did draw out the big guys at certain times?
Yeah, we wanted to switch a little bit of it, but we also wanted to get back on a couple of their guys, and they forced us to change what we want to do. We love keeping our big guys at home, but sometimes we'll end up switching. So, we just had a different matchup. We put our 5 on Wills, and then we switched everything else out. Then we just kept a low man at home if they tried to play the mismatch and post us up. But they're a good team. Anytime you have size that can drive the ball and shoot the basketball from the perimeter, it gives 7-footers and 6'10", 250-pound guys a little bit of an issue. So you're going to have a downside no matter what you do. It's just the fact about now you want to be able to, live with that downside. And we thought that was the best way to do it and allow us to rebound.
Paul Banks, thesportsbank.net. Big day for Quanzo Martin, the guy you've got a lot of history with.
Right.
Obviously, you've been very busy, as he is, but have you had a chance to talk to him about it? And what was your reaction when you heard the news about it?
I didn't talk to him about, why he did it. But I just texted him and congratulated him. So it's, there's always, the place that you're at and the place that you're going. You have, personal and professional reasons why you make those decisions. So but he didn't share those with me. So
How do you think he's going to do it?
I think he'll do great once he gets a bunch of players, just like anybody else. Yeah, there's no such thing as a great coach and, average players. You got to get really good players. He's in a really good league. He's coached the Missouri Valley. He's coached in the Big Ten. He's coached in the SEC, the Pac-12. He understands it. He understands what it takes to win. But you got to also, you got to have the guys. And that might take a couple years before you can get to that point.
P.J. Thompson had an opportunity in the Big Ten tournament to hit a free throw. And he said afterwards, just watch, I'm going to hit a couple shots. After that three-pointer, he kind of looked towards the bench and shook his head. Just what was it like to see him kind of get a little bit of redemption?
Well, it was great. Biggie made a good play. And I think that's the one thing when you're a great player like Swanigan, being able to trust your teammates. sometimes he'll make plays and try to step through double teams. And, when you get doubled, you got to pass the basketball. And I thought he made a great read, and, PJ stepped up and, made that shot. I thought he made some really nice plays for us the whole night. I thought our whole, our backcourt did that. But it's good, It's a hard thing, when you go through it and, something breaks down and you play and you lose a game, it's disappointing, it hurts. So you want to get it back out there and, do some positive things and help your team win, and, he did that.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you. Good luck Saturday.
All right, thanks.